Alright, so with Nathan Hale being stabbed by Daedalus, no one could stop him. So he activated the tower in Iceland, which resonates with all the others.
Well, crud. Mission failed then.
God,
Oh
Kate,
god, and
what
he's
the...
turning into Palpatine.
Nathan,
Now we're in Louisiana.
let me help you.
Well, let's see. We lost two major team members, one of which didn't have much character, the other had so much character that he should not really have been axed, and Daedalus kinda just won.
Had progressed too far.
Not good.
I kept you comatose while I searched for a cure. But now I am so sorry, Nathan.
Sure are.
How long do I have?
Before you
5.
become a full-on Sith, 3 hours.
Yeah,
If we are lucky.
you have. Sorry, mate. You've got 5. 5 what? 4.
Let's
3.
let's make them count.
After Iceland, their ships rolled over Sirpa bases coast to coast. They dug up towers we didn't even know about. Then 2 days ago, the fleet started moving south. Command tracked it down to Mexico. Whole fleet just hovering there near the Gulf.
Can you speed it up, man? I'm dying here.
Did the perimeter hold up?
The perimeter. The perimeter's gone. All we have left is the Baton Rouge protection camp. 3 million people who haven't seen so much as a supply truck in weeks. If we don't do something now, it's only a matter of time before they starve to death. Or worse.
Needless to say, things are not looking up.
So, are you gonna make your last hours count?
So, we're like the only two members left of the main squad.
Basically.
Well, we're
But
wasting
also,
those
Blake,
3 hours talking.
There's also Blake, so I will meet him up more in this part.
Still, how fitting that one of the ones left alive is the one who was more hostile to him. Guessing that's part of Phelps's character
Alright, since
development.
we're in Louisiana, as you can expect, swamp level.
So, gators. Oh, there we go.
Well, yeah. Also, there will be chameleon, but also something else. You'll see.
It'd have been funny if the game actually gave you 3 real-time hours to finish the game, otherwise you get a game over.
I wouldn't be too surprised if it was considered at some point in development, but they scrapped it ultimately, and I can understand why.
So, let's see. Louisiana, does this mean we'll go to a haunted mansion?
Well, there is clearly remnants of a Spanish villa. Probably that's what it is. You know, so we'll have to see what's inside there, and we can pass throughout.
Down
Also,
on
I can assure you, Jova, this part will contain jazz.
Ah, nice.
You'll see. Well, here, or anything.
That's what Resistance needs. Jazz music.
Smooth jazz, yes.
You like jazz?
Oh my god.
I'm kind of indifferent to it.
Yes, Jerry, sure.
That
let's move on.
movie, it's not bad or amazing. It's just one of those movies that definitely needs to be put in storage and studied to see just how weird mankind can get.
There we go. Thankfully, this guy with the auger literally charged in, guns blazing at me for no real reason. But at the very least, there is that, and I'm going to deal with him. Basically, it's best to stay cautious outside the villa and snipe away the different chimeras that you find. So, is that. There you go.
Alright then.
Especially because more of them will arrive eventually.
I
It's
wonder,
not like you have a timer, it's more of a case that after you get inside and eliminate the ones inside, more of them will arrive from the outside. So the game is kind of scripted in a way where you're supposed to expect them from the inside.
I was wondering, is there ever a point where you can stick around in one area and if you stay long enough you'll keep getting swarms of mooks,
No.
essentially?
No. This operates on old school FPS mentality, you know, sticking with the amount of enemies that spawn at a determined point. And I prefer it that way.
Yeah, me too.
Coming through.
Step aside, please. looks like it could have been a beautiful home once.
Well, it's Louisiana. I don't want to know what was used for in the past.
Wow, okay, given that we're in, like, the 50s, I think. This
Well,
game takes place
obviously,
in the
but I'm
50s.
talking about far past, you know.
Ah, yeah.
Basically, I jump cut to key to because again I died a few times, so I found a better frame to handle things out. And yeah, you can
Oh.
actually destroy the.
Oh, let's see.
However, we cannot get on the other side yet, so let's check back on the other side.
let's see, we
with the
got
way we came in.
We got Spanish villas, plantation houses, and even swamp houses. Jeez, they've got all
It's
the
the
real
whole Louisiana
estate.
package. Well, we are missing one thing, but don't worry, Jova. We will see also that later, and I will point it out.
Louisiana's a nice place to visit, though. Honestly, if you're going to New Orleans, I would recommend that you reside in the city rather than out in the forest or swamp
I can't
area.
imagine why.
I mean, it's possible to live there. Lord knows there are people who do live in the swamp area, but you'll have some potential roommates with you that you may not care for.
Then again, I do wonder how crocodile meat actually tastes like. The closest that I got is one of my friends, like he's mentioned, one of my friends went to Tunisia with his family for a long while, and he got to try exotic meat. He told me the closest, but snake meat kind of tastes like fish. So I can imagine something like that, white and spongy.
I've had alligator jaw meat. That's the best part of the gator. It tastes like a combination of chicken with a bit of the tenderness of steak mixed in.
Okay, then.
It's very delicious. No, Louisiana in general has.
Oh, by the way,
dishes.
we're mentioning now Marauder coming in. If you recall, we had a data log entry. Yeah, this. I don't know where we get this mini boss, and yes, thankfully it's an actual boss fight.
So this is a better boss fight than the bigger boss fight from Chicago when you get down to it. Since
something I don't know, but something tells me that this was supposed to be going a different way. Like this creature was supposed to be more important and show up somewhere else, but because they couldn't know what to do much with it, or development cycle and everything, it just shows up here like this with not too much of a fanfare.
Yeah, like this like mini boss. This feels like this could actually be a proper boss. And I guess if the other guy was Godzilla, this is clearly meant to emulate a T-Rex.
It doesn't even have, external arms, proper frontal arms, just the chicken legs.
I guess it figures that mouth is enough.
It kind of reminds me a bit of the steed creatures from Golden Axe.
It looks like we should be able to ride one of those.
Some concept found in the Resistance Freeze behind the scenes stuff, indicates that it might have been the case at some point. And yeah, the tree on top, you have to walk on its corpse to pass on the other side.
Oh, why thank you, sir. You're such a gentleman putting down your coat for me. And by that I mean your hide.
Understood. Secure the team, I'm on my way.
How long will you take to arrive? 4 hours. Oh,
Shit.
Yeah. So, if I understand correctly, it's not even just that he'll die, it's more like he's gonna become some kind of chimera.
Well, it's strongly implied it will become like Daedalus.
Ah, radio. You know what that means.
But no, just music, so...
Oh.
I wonder what happened to that Philadelphia guy.
Ooh, sounds like they got some bio-accordion going on that one.
Well, it was something more like traditional string.
Yeah, fiddle.
Mm-hmm. Alright, more minor platforming. Yeah, sure. I mean, why not?
I guess I cannot stress enough. If you want to go to a certain climate, the United States has pretty much just about every climate.
There you go, Jova. There's the people you're missing. The steamboat.
And
it's a tad occupied.
Oh, it's a haunted steamship. We should clear it of vermin. But yeah, no. I cannot stress enough how we are pretty much almost every climate available in the United States. You want to go for Arctic and cold? Alaska. Want to go for a desert? Texas or Arizona. Want to go for swampy and with a bit of a mildewy thing? Florida or Louisiana.
Since my country is right on the equator, we're mostly just hot, and that's it. Like, in order to see snow in my country, you have to basically go to the mountains.
Ah.
So it's just one of those things where, like, you don't really have snow in Portuguese cities, not really.
I'm guessing that means you guys don't sell winter coats as much.
We do, but like definitely not as like we don't have as much like hot, like the super hot kind as much as you guys probably do.
Like I'm
Because
guessing.
like I watched something like Home Alone, right? And
Yeah.
you know, in those movies you see snow all over town, right? Which is common in America, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it
not
depends on
here.
the area,
Like,
but yeah.
Well, yeah, but in here you don't see that. You don't really see kids playing in the snow in the streets.
So
That
let me-
doesn't exist over here.
I'm guessing winter coats are mainly for like mountain or skiing stuff, which that must
No,
be.
we still have. Well, I think we still have winter coats just for the fact that it's cold in general.
Fuck.
Oh.
What the fuck is
What?
going on to my body?
Yeah, like it
Oh,
looked like
man.
he hung upside down.
And the best
for a
thing
bit.
about it, it spawned me actually where I was supposed to go. Because the checkpoint was basically triggered before I could come across.
Oh,
So,
you know,
sure,
I've run into my fair share of games that
it's
occasionally do
it's
that.
one of those we take these kind of victories.
Yes, I'm
Go on.
technically winning by failing. But yeah, no, like
No.
so I wonder if like
Basically, we get coats for when it's cold, you know, like, but like nothing akin to like the super duper, like for example, scarves. We don't really have much need for scarves over here.
I think I get it. It
never really gets that cold to the point where we need scarves.
I think I get it. It can get cold, but it never really gets like freezing cold there.
Not particularly, no.
It must be
It's,
fun.
it's in contrast, when it's hot over here, it's really fucking hot.
Yeah. It must be interesting. Like, imagine you dress for the summer, but you're planning to go to the mountains, so you pack your summer clothes, but also bring your winter clothes as well. Those must be interesting days.
The more drones to deal with before we have the last item on the boat to deal.
So, it seems... It is interesting that Louisiana is the final stronghold that will... I mean, the
Well,
final
you will
stronghold
see
that
how
Hale will see.
You will see how it's handled. Basically, the idea is that you know, we start here and we'll actually travel to the Gulf of Mexico, as Capelli hinted, because that's where the other ships are, and probably Daedalus will also be there. So that's. Also, yes, I'm exploiting the Daedalus physics to my advantage, so I can get hit by the rocket.
Yeah, sir, you do realize you're being hit, sir?
No, it's funnier this way.
Yes, yes it is.
There we go.
I guess if
We
I can
actually
give...
proper explore.
I guess,
Yeah.
again, I probably said this before, but I'll say it again. I'll give them credit that they do differentiate each area, and, you know, given that this is a globe-trotting venture, I appreciate that.
Here you go.
Well, the ship's not completely sunk, so perhaps we can salvage this venture.
It's more about, you know, moving with it.
Jeez, they stripped some of these rooms bare.
Yeah. Yeah. These are innocuous, technically, versions of Chimera, really like killing to rats. You get a trophy if you kill like 25 or something across the campaign. Oh, I guess they started shooting me.
No, that may have just been the
From
sound
from
of the
up, from up
furnace.
ab- from up above.
Ah.
Well, not the top. Yeah, the second floor.
Die.
Upper.
Okay, now I think we got them all.
There you go, Jova. Use your smooth dress.
Huh.
Nice.
Are we in Fallout or Bioshock Infinite now?
To be fair, it's the 50s, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can imagine this was something original that they composed for this rather than a piece of licensed music.
Oh yeah, while nothing's happening, I did see the first episode of the Fallout TV show recently.
How was it?
Do you have any experience with the
Solid.
franchise aside from that?
No.
Okay, just in case.
Apparently, it's canon with the games, so
It's a bit complicated than Todd Howard. Remember the golden rule with Todd Howard? Trust, don't believe his lies, as we say in Memento.
But yeah, like against all odds, from what I've heard, the Fallout show is apparently good.
It's at least from what I heard a fun time, which is more than it can be said for stuff like the Halo series.
Very much so.
Is that?
Well, remember Fallout. You're talking about the Fallout show, right?
Oh snap!
Yes.
yeah.
Because remember the
Amazon
Fallout
Prime.
show isn't being handled by Jonathan Nolan. So
Oh yeah, right. Chris's
He's one of
brother.
the
the High
executive
Castle.
producers.
he created Person of Interest and Westworld. That's
So-
what he's famous for nowadays.
So I'm guessing when it comes to the Nolan brothers, Chris does the movies and John does the shows.
Basically, yeah. That's the basic gist of it. Like, you wanna have an awesome epic cinema experience. You wait for the next Christopher Nolan movie. You want an awesome TV show. Wait for whatever Jonathan Nolan is making next.
I wonder if that was a pact those two brothers made.
And remember, they also worked together on screenplays because Memento was originally a short story that Jonathan came up with. Chris was the one that turned it into a movie, and Jonathan helped Christopher Nolan with the script writing for The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, and Interstellar. Oh yeah,
That's
and
the-
the Prestige too, and the Prestige too.
That's the kind of brotherly duo I can appreciate. Also, I love how in all these survival horror scenarios, everything falls right into place to allow the protagonist to make their way across. It's like, I know it's the apocalypse, but I have to set this broken piece of wood just right so someone can jump across to this ledge.
I actually really liked the opening scene of the first episode. It's kind of like a fake out in a way in terms of the characters, because you think, oh, we're being introduced to all these characters and see what's going to happen throughout the course of the series. Oh no, they'll get blown
Anyway,
up.
this is what Blake is telling us to deliver, the kind of package.
Gentlemen, I was on that steamboat. Why didn't you
It's
provide me some cover?
They actually did, if you notice. One of the Titans got killed by them.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. Basically, what we're bringing is a hydrogen bomb. So something a bit more spicy than your average atomic.
Yep.
Basically, our goal will be to try to bring that to one of the ships, specifically maybe the one with Daedalus, and hopefully manage to blow that shit up with him inside.
Will that be able to stop the Chimeras as a whole, or will it at the very least buy us a rescue to
Much like with the
counterattack?
first game, it's basically a desperate gamble that happens at the very last, second, because humanity has no better alternative to what to do. So there is that.
Gonna go out on a limb here and say that Hale makes a noble but heroic sacrifice.
We shall see. To be fair, I can tell you this, just to give you an idea of what I was feeling, because I knew already in advance most of the plot when I actually got to play this game properly for myself, And around at this point, I was actually pondering, is Hale gonna make it or not? The game seemed to be strongly suggesting that, he doesn't have much time to live and everything. But already the first game had emphasized the fact that he's relatively special. He got infected and survived, which hadn't happened to anyone else yet, So that one got me thinking, will he actually, succumb to that? Or will actually he become, something more, or resist, or just survive and that's it, or we will find a cure and everything. You will see what happens, at the end in the next game that.
I'm curious, when you first played this, was the third game already out?
Yes, I played all of these in quick succession 2 or 3 years ago, basically. But I did, but yeah, remember, Jova, I got these from Kex for like $3 each. No way I was gonna spend more than $10 for each of these. Like even regardless of that, I knew already what kind of games were these, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna, if I'm not actually finding them at a very cheap price, I'm not gonna. And similar to, and because these were actually famous mostly for the multiplayer. Obviously, similar to games like, say, the FIFA titles or Call of Duty, when new versions with better multiplayers or new multiplayer scenarios, show up, these ones tends to catastrophically drop in price.
Yeah.
So this was actually basically I got them at the best possible moment.
Okay, so you knew there was a third game, but to your credit, you kept yourself. You did not spoil yourself on the outcomes of any.
No,
So...
I knew someone talked about it in 2008, but I did watch it, but I did not remember what they did said. So there was that.
I will say, even with the knowledge that there is a third game, for all I know, they might actually do the crazy thing and give us a whole new protagonist for the third game. Like, I've seen series either do that, I've seen series kill off a protagonist only to then go, no, actually he was alive all along, for varying bouts of believability.
Contrived, reasons.
Yeah, like, and sometimes I get it, sometimes they're a very beloved character, and if it feels like they weren't done justice, I'm okay with them being brought back so that they can get a more proper send-off at the very least. That said, again, this game could go either way. Like, I will say this about Resistance. While it is nice that we're getting more of Hale, I do still feel like we're at a point where you could arguably replace him with another protagonist, and
that's kind of what they did with Retribution, because, since it's a side story that takes place after Hale is transported from the UK to Iceland, they have someone else, take over, sort of, for basically the major person that helps the European resistance.
which
I
is
forgot the
fair
name.
enough.
I forgot what he's called, but from what the little that they played so far, Retribution, if Hale is supposed to resemble more the Doom Marine, that guy instead resembles a bit more BJ Blazkowicz from the Wolfenstein games. If that makes any sense.
I'm aware of Wolfenstein. I'm not sure how to register that.
While
though.
technically functioning in a similar way, the Doom Marine, at the end of the day, the Doom Marine and BJ Blazkowicz are two very different characters. Or Doomslayer these days. The Doomslayer, could never speaks, let his action speaks, is very, blunt, on the force and everything. Blazkowicz, while also being very stoic, because he kind of has to with what everything the Nazis throw at him. He tends to be a bit more chatty, and has more comprehension for the supporting characters that are around him. So there is that. Well, that mostly that happens with the more recent games, because even in stuff like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, he still did not speak, which that was on the PS2. But starting with at least Wolfenstein 2009, I don't know if Enemy Territory has him speak, but starting with Wolfenstein 2009, he actually does speak and has a range of supporting characters that he does care about, and talks with, and gets to have as friends. Well, instead, the Doom Marine will be technically saving mankind, but even for the little people, the little, group of people that form maybe around him, he basically just makes sure that they're okay, but doesn't interest too much because he's going to just beat the demon up. Anyway, the road is kind of locked, and it's probably best to not engage them. So, yeah, let's get back to Blake, finally. Been a while. Wow, they genuinely did not see me.
Did you secure the package?
Capelli's delivering it to the checkpoint now.
Good. The Chimera have a staging area on the other
It's
side of
just so weird that they have him speaking radio even when we're right next to them.
Even right next to
Yeah.
him.
Again, all the characters do that, and I don't understand why.
Like, I'm pretty sure
really-
even at this
I-
time it was standard procedure
Yeah,
to
I
have
was
two
about to
different
say.
recordings.
I'm pretty sure there were. It's like we cut the middle management.
Okay, maybe if they were all wearing, like, noise-concealing helmets, sure, fine, but Hale is clearly
Like
not.
in the Battleship video game.
God, the battleship. Yes, like the battleship.
Ironic enough, in that one, they actually do speak to you directly if they're in front of you.
God, so even the battleship game can at least say it knew how to do the voice changes.
That one was in what, 2011, I think? 12. Yeah.
It's weird though. Like,
Alright,
I feel like
let's hope we don't get leeches.
it's weird because I feel like even this early it was standard procedure. But yeah, watch out for.
Yeah, the blood-sucking leeches. I have to wonder, again, that makes me more curious to see what the Killzone games, especially the ones done for the PS3, will actually, be like.
From what I've heard, people really like Killzone 2. 1 and 3 are just kind of there, but don't really.
I know that Liberation was also slightly polarizing, but basically it kind of ends in a cliffhanger, and people wanted to see that being continued at the very least. But instead, Guerrilla moved on to Horizon, and Sony did not pick anyone else to continue, which, again, kind of a shame.
I'm guessing it's one of those cases where, regardless of the fact that the series may have been a bit lukewarm, it did have enough of an interest to at least see how the story ended.
At least give a conclusion. If you really want the AP to end because you don't think, at least give a conclusion of some kind.
Yeah, like it's always.
Especially because from what I heard, because again I don't know the deets, but from what I know, Liberation is a sort of a new start, kind of like Gears of War was supposed to be.
I'll admit.
As in, apparently the story does conclude to some degree with 3, but Liberation is a new beginning.
I'll admit, it's always a bit of a case-by-case basis for me, but a lot of times, even with sometimes more iffy series, I've never really liked it when they end on a cliffhanger and just cut the plug there. Now, I'd say it's a mix. Now, it's mainly on the devs, unless they're executively mandated to add in a cliffhanger, but I don't know, like, and I know, arguably every game done in a series can be considered a gamble. That said, I feel like if you're at a point where your future is really that unknown, trying to put a cliffhanger always feels like a Hail Mary to get people to buy it because they'll want to see how it ends proper. And well, if it doesn't work, you're left with a mess.
That's why I'm grateful for both 2 games for always ending conclusively, tying things up with a neat little bow, considering the uncertainty of that series continuing.
Like, to give the remake of 2 credit, that did have a sequel hook, but that was only after they knew that a sequel was
There was an hindsight. Anyway,
the sequel was already in development by the time final remix came out, so that was justified.
Just to mention, because right now you're hearing that now the radio is going static, I might have actually missed one of basically what the last sequence is. So let me just tell you about the radio host. He basically keeps being his illusion, complete with alcohol and everything, and because of he actually had to witness the death of that kid. So he basically just says, "I'm gonna go take a walk," and he strongly implied that he committed suicide by, resigning himself to the Chimera. Also, apparently, there is actually a chameleon that's sprinting towards me, but I cannot, for the life of me, seeing where he is.
Oh dear.
All of this, you can imagine my controller keeps vibrating like that. Tum, 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 tum. I cannot even locate properly where he's supposed to be, because maybe he was actually trying to circle around the house. Maybe that's it.
You think he'd have attacked you by now, like he's had so much time.
Oh, well.
Oh, and you know what'd be funny is if he's actually stuck somewhere.
The problem is, yeah, it's probably, but that made my screen shake, so I had to basically reset.
Yes, sir.
Now we have to basically deal with this minor fortification, and then moving on to the place where the package will be, delivered. Fuck.
Oh, I'll just try again.
Yeah, true, but I did waste an ammunition. Like, it's not like I'm starving for ammunition, but it would be best if I, try to make every shot count. Especially because the fire is very precious. Headshots really are a savior for a game like this, but otherwise enemy will take multiple bullets from your standard weapon. I didn't talk much about the Auger Shield or the one of the minigun. They're technically fine, but they're less... okay then. But they don't protect you as much as you would want. You know.
Hale, X-ray squad just arrived to lend support. We'll meet you at the rendezvous.
Okay, Capelli, sure. There you go. As in, they do absorb some shots, but you really wish they would be able to do a bit more, because the one of the minigun has a sort of a counter that gets diminished with every shot that it takes, and is basically, burnt out, before you know it. And one of the Auger is technically fine, but it still doesn't reflect completely everything like explosives, at least as far as I checked. All right, blow this shit up, please.
Stand clear.
There you go.
It's weird because they even do the thing where the voices sound a bit more faint the more you move away, but it's on radio, so shouldn't it sound consistent for us?
No idea.
There's a shuttle at the top of this platform. If we take it, we can get the bomb to Daedalus before he knows what hit him. Check your clips. You can bet they'll be waiting for us.
Oh, they will. I mean, it's the end of the game and everything. Yeah. Basically, that ramp is a good signification, a good representation, because now the game is once again throwing everything a kitchen sink throughout that ramp. So enjoy having to deal with a lot of hordes. Well, as the bomb vessel actually goes up. Thankfully, it's not an escort mission, don't worry. It's not like if anyone accidentally hits the bomb, it's game over. Thank God, I can only imagine how tedious it would have been. Capelli?
Capelli!
Move!
Come on, you're supposed to be one of the major characters, dude. You're not a coward.
He got stuck in the elevator. It really is like all the United Colonial Marines. Holy shit. So you think, oh good, we're done, right? Nope.
Another wave.
Yeah. With two Titans to boot.
Yeah. And I could have sworn I heard those loud footsteps that usually means a
No,
chameleon.
thankfully, if I recall correctly, there are no chameleons for this section.
Oh, but that's probably a heartbeat sound effect that's like goes whenever.
Yeah, it's used when you slow down with the far eye.
It's weird because it sounds like it moves in the same time of when the chameleons are charging at you.
It goes a bit faster when it comes to the chameleon footsteps. I can know the difference because, it's represented by the vibration.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's no vibration when you're doing the zoom in, so
No.
it's definitely a change there.
That was actually sudden. I did not knew that the Titan will actually be able to do that.
Yeah.
Mostly when they come into melee range, we just do that. Capelli, move!
Come
Holy
on,
shit!
dude, we
he's
could
on
use
his
your
he's on his
bullets.
union break.
Yes. Apparently freedom does take a break at times.
Yes.
Capelli, everyone's helping. Get your ass in the line, dude.
Even Blake is doing something with his tiny pistol. Like, give the minigun to him if you don't want to do anything. Jeez.
Jesus, this dude can take a lot of punishment.
Yeah, literally again a Titan and everything. So. There you go.
Alright, we good?
Nope.
Okay, 3 times the charm.
Okay, if I recall correctly, it's not as numerous as the previous one, but it's still another line of defense. And because, again, you're literally fighting an uphill battle, you know, the enemy has an advantage over you when it comes to aim.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that the Slicer does not do as much damage as I wish it would. Because, again, I really like it as a weapon, even as it was in Ratchet and Clank. Damn it.
No, please, by all means, if anyone else would like to come, please.
Like, is Baron Resistance enemy who hasn't showed up yet for the reunion at the end? Is this like the Nathan Hale's welcoming party or something?
Yes, it's like, oh, cool, you're becoming one of us. Here's the welcome committee. So I wonder, is Nathan set to become an angel like Daedalus, or potentially something different?
We don't know. It's again, it suggested that considering he got the same treatment as Shepard, he will become like Daedalus, ideally. But we'll have to see if that happens or not.
I will say, it's kind of a missed opportunity that we don't get more character moments with Daedalus, like, especially since he's mainly just now a hive mind for
Again,
the
Joba,
Chimera.
you want that, you need to read the novel.
God damn it, like, okay.
Cool.
Okay, even ignoring that, like, how cool would it have been to have an enemy who defected to the Chimera, but he actually has a reason to, because as far as he is concerned, his humanity is gone. He hates being an angel, but he wants ultimate vengeance.
No, that's not how the Chimera works. The Chimera works in almost instinctual way. Angels like Daedalus are more of an exception rather than a rule. Remember, if the one in the UK did not have enough of a sentient to speak to you.
That's what I'm saying. How cool would it have been if Daedalus was like that, you know, seeing how John reacts
I honestly
to
prefer
becoming
it
him.
this way. Like I said, I found it very moronic to have the, you know, characters who are conscious about the struggle that humanity is going, but actually defect to the species of you know, hungry and you know, extremely brutal alien that are killing you.
Oh yeah, that much is true.
Like
but
again, the unitology cult of Dead Space makes it a good reason why they're stupid the way they are, and they're still stupid.
The universe shall be reborn.
Capelli.
I'm fine. Capelli!
Still
Yeah.
got a broomstick up your ass, Capelli?
It was busy in the elevator to jam it in.
Dude, you alright there?
Anyway, tune in for the next part for the epic conclusion to see if, you know, Hale can actually stick the bomb up to Daedalus' ass. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.